Today we are with Mark, who is the Chief Commercial Officer of Indigo Cargo. Mark, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Great. So congratulations on the addition of additional freighters to your operations in India. We'd like to know your thought process behind launching these additional freighters. What kind of demand are you witnessing in particular sectors? And if you can share some categories where you are witnessing more demand.
Okay, great, Annabelle. Well, look, thanks very much once again for today's interview. The addition of freighters to the Indigo fleet really, I think, came around during COVID, where Indigo, like all airlines, was suffering on the passenger side of the business, and cargo became, I guess, its main revenue stream. It really had to adapt to the times, and at that time, I think the senior management at the organization saw the potential for cargo in India. I think it's important to bear in mind that, today about 80% of import-export cargo into this country is not handled by Indian carriers. Very few Indian carriers actually operate freighters. So that really was seen as an opportunity, and Indigo has invested. We now have 3 A321 converted freighters. They're based obviously on the East Coast up in Calcutta and in Mumbai. And from there they operate to a range of destinations, and we can go into that, I'm sure, as the interview goes on.
Sure, wonderful. Also, Mark, it's been a few months that you are heading the cargo business of Indigo. We'd like to know what is your experience of the Indian market and what are you most excited about?
Okay, well, you may know that I was living in India a while ago for 5 years in a previous life with another organization. And the fact that I'm back in India, I think, says a lot about the Indian market and my belief in it. Look, not only on the cargo side, if you look at the broader Indian aviation scene, it's a fantastic growth story at the moment, and it's always great as a professional to be part of a story that's about growth. And for air cargo, I think we have a great potential. We've had a couple of very tough years. We're starting to see a bit of light, I think, at the end of the tunnel. As always, air cargo is affected by a lot of macro things going on around it, geopolitics being one that's very key and very topical, I guess, at the moment. But for me, it's a bit of a blank canvas as far as Indigo is concerned. We've decided, as part of our strategy, that cargo is going to become more of a core product that we have at Indigo. We've mentioned that in our overarching strategy that has been put out there by our CEO, Peter Elbers. So my role really with the team is to build upon that. The freighters that we just talked about are obviously going to be a core part of it, but with 2,000 departures a day in the Indigo sort of passenger network, I like to think it's a little bit of payload for every narrow body flight times by 2,000. So it's actually a lot of capacity. In addition to that, Annabelle, I think some people probably oversee or overlook is that we have 2 777 passenger aircraft, one based in Delhi, one based in Bombay, that operate into Istanbul on a daily basis. And for us, that's the first time really that Indigo's got into the sort of wide body passenger palletized cargo, which is obviously carries about, in general, passenger bellies carry 50% of the world's cargo. So for us, that's a massive step as well, and something that's very exciting.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that scale of operations of Indigo Cargo, and we wish you luck with Indigo and all the developments in the upcoming months as we build towards Air Cargo India. This year, we know that Air Cargo India starts on the 14th of February. So with you having more than 2 decades of experience in this industry across the world, share something of your passion for this industry, what you love most and what motivates you to come to work every day.
Okay, great. Well, I've been lucky enough in 25 years of aviation to work in quite a few different verticals. But much of that, and probably my most senior years, as it were, as an executive, have been in cargo. I can assure you that it's the one area of the organization I feel has a very, very human touch. And what do I mean by that? It's not like the passenger side of the business where you're transacting sometimes online or sometimes through third parties. It's very much about working with our partners in the freight forwarding industry, right? So a huge amount of our volume comes from them. And I've had the opportunity over the years to genuinely make some very good friendships from those business opportunities. They lead to something. Cargo is also, a lot of people think it's about boxes. Sure, it's about boxes, it's about pallets, but every pallet, every box has a story to it, right? And it's delivering a lot of high value goods around the world. During COVID, I think many of us in the cargo business felt very proud that we were able to be part of, I guess, the humanitarian response that the industry was bringing to the world, particularly in terms of vaccines and medication. I'm passionate about it, and I'm looking forward to finishing my days very much in the cargo business.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Mark. And we are so excited to welcome you to Air Cargo India.
Thanks, Annabelle. Thank you.